on the East Coast. Well, I guess it's later in the morning. Good morning to you as well. I gotta just show you a little bit of this drive. I got an early job I gotta go to, but it is a foggy morning here in Pacific Northwest. Car was icy, frozen. It was about freezing when I got out of the house today. So it's just one of those mornings, clear skies, at least in my area. Now I'm descending into this valley. That's why it's a little foggy now. But weather should be pretty good. A little bit of traffic coming up here. Anyway, I haven't done a drive stream in a while. So I thought, I got a few minutes to do it. Let's do it. Thank you. Congratulations. I might not be able to read a lot of these comments because obviously I need to keep my eyes on the road. So, but feel free to comment away. You guys can have your conversation. That is Maple Valley. Yes, you know your areas, don't you? Local person here. So I just want to talk a little bit about the game. I'm going to do a breakdown tomorrow with the boys, with Sky High Aviation and Nick LeBeau. Nick is finally joining us after he was like 1 and done, I think, or maybe 2 and done. It's been a while, but we're gonna break this last game now, which will be a lot of fun because it was a fun, entertaining game for sure. But before I get into that, I just wanted to let everybody know, in case I hadn't talked enough about it, if you live in the area and you'd like to hang out with me, watch the game in person, we're gonna be doing a viewing party, watch party for the Seahawks-Rams game on Sunday at Stimpy's Bar and Grill, which is just a little bit south of the SeaTac Airport. So if you want to come out, hang out, get in the live stream with a bunch of other Seahawks fans watching this game, hopefully watch the Seahawks take down the Rams for revenge. We'll be doing that this Sunday. You know, the kickoff's 1:25, so the party will start 12:30. We're going to be doing some auctions, some raffle tickets for prizes, and just like the old days at Emerald Downs, which we did up until the pandemic. So kind of back to trying out this watch party thing, just a different venue, but it's going to be great. Good cause, and also just a fun time to hang out. We're going to have some special guests with us. Larry Bevins, who's the current NFL Fan of the Year, who was the winner of the 2022 Seahawks Fan of the Year honor. He will be there, so he's going to be hanging out with us. Mike Brown, he does a lot of watch parties around the area, so we're teaming up with him, who's going to run the auctions, things like that. So anyway, just want to let you guys know about that in case you are from the area, you want to hang out. That is this Sunday. All right, so, and I apologize, I'm on the stretch of road here, which tends to have internet issues right about here, so I'm not going to get into the thick of it because I'm going to predict in about 30 seconds I might lose you guys. And it is beautiful though, isn't it? It actually looks brighter on the screen than it does to my eyes. The camera actually picks up the light even better, but it's pretty cool. Anytime you see the fog in the morning, kind of just laying low, it creates that atmospheric, soft glow around everything. I love that. I'm going to be fighting some traffic going up on 405. So this is usually where things go dead. We'll see if that's still the case. Let's center this up a little bit. There you go. What's up, you guys? Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, Carson Wentz. I don't think he's going to play. Well, it sounds like that. I thought maybe Stafford wouldn't play, but it sounds like he will play. So we'll see. A little nervous about this game. Obviously, still thinking about what happened in game 1 of the year when we thought we were going to walk all over the Rams. So even from a 9058, that's why I know this area so well. All right, just want to make sure I get through the dead zone. I think it's right about in here. Maybe they even improved the internet. Who knows? Maybe they got a few more cell towers up in this area. Let me just make my move here, get past this truck. A lot of trucks in this area. Then once I get to the freeway side of things, okay. But yeah, almost to 405 northbound. This is where traffic gets nasty right up here. What I think about Geno, that's what I'm going to talk about. That's what I'm going to talk about. Hello, Texas. Yeah, while I'm at it, let everybody know where you guys are watching from. City and state or city and country. I had a cool picture from a guy, one of my viewers who was watching the game from the Philippines. And he had a setup going where he had the game at 3 screens. He must have been watching probably Red Zone or something. One camera or one screen on the game with another screen on my reaction, and he had them almost perfectly synced. And that's cool. That's like ultimate viewing setup where he's getting the best of both worlds. He gets to see the game and watch me. I mean, how much better than that can it be? I say sarcastically, but I think it's pretty cool. Even I don't have that setup going on. All right, I'm gonna bypass this. I'm not gonna take, normally you just take that exit right up to the right here, but it's probably backed up quite a bit. So I'm gonna try to circumvent this, go to the next exit or next on-ramp, and hopefully that one might be better. I hope so. We'll see. All right, well, I got past the dead zone. Looks like everything worked out okay, throw. So, all right, well, let me get back to talking about this game. So, somebody asking what kind of drive. This is a 2023 Toyota Highlander. Had the van, the Toyota Sienna, for the last 3 years or so, switched to the Highlander to simplify it a little bit. Now that I only got 3 people in the house, I figured I didn't need to have such a big vehicle anymore. So, yeah, that's what it is. All right. So, talking about the game, truth be told, when we were, I didn't have the stats, always on hand. Never do when I'm watching the game, which was kind of fun about the stadium, and because I don't have my phone running with stats, so I can just check on the updates on everything. And I'm not always looking at the board to see where we're at. But when I was guessing how much Geno had, I was thinking that he had maybe like 200, low 200 yards or something like that. And but when I found out afterwards that he was 369 yards, obviously the 2 touchdowns and the he had a 103 passer rating. 31 for 47 or 49, something like that. It was a lot better than I thought, and I didn't realize until later after digesting that this is one of the best. This is like one of the best days Geno's ever had. After all last year, which was a great year, this is one of his best performances. And I started the game by saying, when we did our keys to the game, I said, oh, and Cindy's right there making the point about Geno. I said the key to the game in this one, I said, I made one key to the game at the beginning and at the end. And I said, Geno's going to have to we have to win the turnover battle, which obviously means Geno not turning over the ball over, but nobody turning over the ball over. We got to get turnovers. They did that. The Seahawks won the turnover battle. And I said on defense, we got to get to the quarterback. We did that too. So this was a much better round. No lineup here so far. This worked out much better. All right. After looking back on that, I think why it felt like it was more like 200 something yards, because I think, like everybody else was feeling, the first half wasn't great. I think we were all magnified by what should have beens, and to end the half the way it did, obviously that was not Geno's finest moment. It reminded me a lot of the half of football end of the Ravens game where we had a field goal in hand. I think I can turn this off now. It's getting brighter outside. There you go. Too light. The sun was coming out before our eyes. The At the end of the first half, if you recall, the Ravens game, we had a field goal in hand because of the turnover, and all we had to do was just, and I think this happened in the game before, where all we had to do was not get sacked, not turn the ball over, just, you know, just maybe move the ball a few yards. But even from then, I think we had a field goal in hand. And it was the same case on Sunday, where all you had to do, you could have thrown an incomplete pass. I think we're already in field goal range. And I said, the one thing you cannot do here is take a sack. Can't take a sack. And what happens? He doesn't take a sack, but almost worse, he gets intentional grounding. It's as bad as a sack, because you not only lose the yards on the penalty, but then you also have to loss it down, and so you just basically just get knocked out of field goal range. And it was bad, it was just a terrible finish to the half, knowing that we just left 3 points on the board. So then there were a couple of plays that, like he didn't hit a couple of open receivers that maybe forced it to DK. But that was the first half. The second half, obviously, we liked the way that finished, right? I mean, you got to look at that final drive. I mean, 2 drives, really. He did the old 1-2 punch, where won the game. Technically, if the defensive hadn't made a stop, that would have been a game-winning drive to get that beautiful throw to Lockett in the right corner, or right edge of the end zone. If defense does their job, we're not even talking about having to go down and score again. But they tie it up. Thank goodness for missing an extra point. Whew, extra points, man. Field goals, extra points, so important. And then going down and getting that game-winning drive, I mean, that's what clutch quarterbacks do, right? If you can get down the field in the 2-minute drill, like Russell used to do a long time ago, so we loved him so much, because we had all these close games, just like Sundays, and be able to finish the game either with the field goal or touchdown. And that's exactly what he did. Going back to the first half again, a couple things just came to mind while I was talking about the great stuff that happened in the second half. It reminded me of the first half. The other thing I'm very frustrated about, the quarterback sneak. We went for it twice on 4th down, and both fourth downs were negated. One, a first down, quarterback sneak that got called back because of the delay game, and then the other one was a false start, so we never got to run the play. The first one was frustrating, obviously, because, you're only doing one thing. You're just running the ball at the middle. Geno's got to see that the clock is going to 0 and snap it. And it's not like he's waiting for someone to get set. It's not like there's somebody in motion. I mean, it's just set up and go. So that was frustrating, why that happened. And I put that on Geno. The other one, I actually said during my live stream that maybe it was a blessing. It was a blessing in disguise that Geno that there was a false start on that 4th down, because it forced him to kick the field goal. And yeah, maybe they would have gotten it. That's always more exciting. Everyone gets excited when everyone likes, they're going to go for it. All right. And there's the emotional part that likes that, because you like the aggressiveness. But then we've seen that backfire more than one occasion, and against teams that we've beaten. The Lions were like that. They went for it, and instead of settling for field goals, probably would have beaten us in week 2 if they had just gone with the conservative, take the points, instead of going for it and getting stopped. So it's not always a surefire thing. It's definitely a thing where you can look back, and then the way a game plays out, you look back in the score and go, man, if we just gone for a field goal, we would have won this game. Bengals, same thing. That Bengals game, if we had, instead of going for it at the end, the second to last possession where we didn't convert, had we gone for a field goal, take the points, well, we would have made it it would have been a less than a touchdown. I think it would have been a 1-point game, and we would have been able to get the ball back and then kick a field goal and win it. Anyway, so I think it actually worked out for the better that we got the false start on that second attempt. But going back to the second half, which was much better. Again, Geno didn't turn the ball over, and that was the biggest thing. And the way that I also credit the play calling by Shane Waldron, the fact that they stuck with the running game, let Charbonnet start getting some more of those points, those plays and handoffs where he got a couple of runs of 10 yards at a time on one of those crucial drives. Just the way that they kept mixing things up between the run, using the tight ends more, and then, DK, it's like all the complaining about DK being a problem. He hasn't been a problem the last 2 weeks. My gut feeling is that he probably had a good talking to with Pete or somebody, and probably told him to kind of settle things down because, nobody's heard about it. In a wreck or something? Great. This is the worst. It's making me late for my appointment. We probably got a wreck up ahead. This is messing everything up. We got emergency vehicles trying to get through here. Crap. This is not good. Probably should have left a little earlier. Supposed to get there by 7:30. Now it's going to get there at 7:50. That's not good. Interrupted my flow. This just happened. It's not even showing up on the thing. Anyway, Adventures of Drive Streams. Hey, 405. Look at this. This is 405 North for you. Yeah. Norb's on Filipino time. Yeah, and I thought it looked pretty good. I did. It was looking good for a while. Norb's on Filipino time for sure. On Filipino time. There's a problem with 405 North. Right, these right now. There's three lanes. You got two normal lanes and a carpool lane.
Sports Live in the ATL.
Wait, why am I watching?
Slick Live in the ATL.
Why am I having Sports Live in the ATL playing at the same time? What is this?
Jacket and not look fly. That would be me.
I'm live streaming, but I have Sports Live in the ATL's video playing. What is that all about?
Everything is on point. The jacket's on point.
What am I hearing here?
Word. If you want to know some words,
well, hopefully you can just hear me. That's a little annoying. Anyway, so there's no shoulder. There's no shoulder to pull off on. Obviously, if somebody gets into a wreck or there's somebody's car breaks down or whatever, there's nowhere to go. You're just stuck. And everybody's, just jams everything up. Yeah, Joy, this traffic's like here in the Philippines. Almost. No, the Philippines is different. If this was the Philippines, we would have 5 lanes of traffic squeezed into these 3 lanes. We'd manufacture 2 more lanes. That's the difference if this was in the Philippines. But yeah, it is not good. It is not good. Oh well. So going back to the thing. So what is surprising, because I guess when I looked at the stats, I was surprised how it felt, because I think just because of those moments of the game that sort of eat at you, like, why did he do this? Why did he do that? You're still left with this feeling like he didn't play very well, because you remember those key mistakes that kind of gnaw at you, that cost you some points or cost you a moment where you go, oh, we should have had that we could have had a touchdown instead of a field goal. But then you look at the numbers, and then you look at the drive, and he played a great game. I mean, about as good as you could ask for. And I think what's frustrating is, and even with my friends that were with me, I won't name names so I don't throw them under the bus, but even then, they're still saying after all that, I'm still tired of Geno. I'm done with Geno. I gotta see Drew Lock now. I'm like, really? After that performance, even after getting the win, even after he did not only a drive to take the lead, but then had to do a 52-second, I believe, drive to get in a field goal range and win the game, still not enough. I'm just like, how short of a leash is this that he's got to have on him, that this, what more does the guy have to do? This is the funny thing about backup quarterbacks, right? It was the same when Geno was the backup and Russell was struggling, right? Remember when Russell came out and, inevitably every quarterback has their struggles. last night, just watching Josh Allen play for the Bills, the debacle of the game against the Broncos. Broncos pulled it out last night. But Josh Allen did not have a good day. He had a bad day. The whole Buffalo Bills team had a bad day. They messed up on so many chances to win that game. I mean, talk about frustration, man. I mean, I would be boiling over for everybody, from special teams to defense to offense. Everybody on the Bills had something to do, something to be blamed for that game. But I don't know. I don't listen to the Bills Mafia media, but are people calling for Josh Allen to be benched and the backup put in? My guess is not, because they've just already kind of anointed him as a franchise quarterback. So they've got this long leash that it'll take a long time before they'll start saying they want to bench him. But Geno's leash is about this long, a little piece of floss. And I don't know what the guy's got to do to not have people ready to just throw him under the bus and have him be benched. I know he struggled. I know he's had his turnover troubles. But I think he's also showed yesterday that he can play, at a high level. He's not going to make mistakes every single game. And there's no guarantee. Everybody, I think, assumes that it's going to be addition by subtraction. That just because you're not happy with the quarterback starter, that when you put the backup in, things will just be better. Everyone's assuming that Drew Lock is just going to be some, a guy who's going to just take over and be 10 times better than Geno Smith. He might be worse. We don't know how good he is. Now, maybe that's what people just want to know. They just want to see, what does he have? But do you really want to tinker around with, let's just try it. Let's experiment with it against the Rams and see what happens. Let's experiment with him against the Niners and see if he does better. People just sometimes want change for change's sake. And it's not always, you don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater, as they used to say. You youngsters probably don't know what the hell I'm talking about. What does that mean? What does the baby and the bathwater have to do with it? You older people know. Oh, this accident already on top of this thing. You can see it. Like, you see the little, this is never good. Right there. Just when it is. That's messing me up right there. In an already bad driving situation. I'm cutting it close now. Doggone it. But yeah, it's going to be challenging. We're going to be facing a lot tougher defenses, especially when we play the 49ers twice. Especially now that the 49ers are getting healthy again. We see what a healthy 49ers compared to a Deebo Samuel-less 49ers, or a Christian McCaffrey-less 49ers. Definitely they're scary good when they have all their players healthy. Dollars in yet. We still are missing our right tackle, but our offense pretty much what it is. Besides that position, we've got our skill position players pretty much set. But I still think this team's going to get better. But I don't know. I guess I just am sort of tired of, especially being in the stadium. Probably the thing that annoyed me the most, one, was the booing, and I knew it was coming. If you saw my little parody video of Seahawks fans, I kind of called it out. But I don't boo our own team. I might boo a call or something, but I don't believe in that. But there's a lot of that going on, and I understand the frustrations, but again, such a short leash on Geno. He does one thing wrong, everybody jumps on top of him. But I think the hardest thing is that people are so quick to find everything. Look, like I said, look at that play. He needs to get out of there. What an idiot. Oh, look, he missed that guy go. Oh, how did he let that happen? How did he let the clock go down to 0? Easy to find all the reasons why things are bad. But people don't want to give him credit when he does something good. that's what I think is interesting. And it's kind of like just life in general right now, that people will always find whatever will back up their opinion and refuse to look at the other side, which I think is just, you know, it's blind to not allow yourself to do that, you know. And we see that all the time, whether it's politics, religion, whatever. You take a side and you go, okay, I've decided he's not my guy, or I don't believe in this anymore. So you're just going to be looking for everything that's going to tell you, okay, no, I don't want to, that's pro the other side. I don't want to listen to that. No, that doesn't help me. That doesn't help me. There, right there. See, he just threw the ball, forced it to somebody he shouldn't have. See, that's why he needs to get benched. But when he takes the team down the field in 52 seconds and gets them in field goal range, you just sort of dismiss it and go, well, that was just that play, but he's still. So, you know, you know, that's frustrating, listening to people talk like that, because that's how people think. And I don't know what it would take for people who are like diehard Geno haters to go the other way. Like, what's the tipping point for them to finally go, you know what, I think we'll be all right? Does he have to win a Super Bowl? Does he have to get to the NFC Championship game? Anything shy of an NFC Championship game basically means, we lost because they put the wrong guy in a quarterback. You know, we'll learn a lot. Hopefully not next week. I don't. More like, well, this is how we should have played the Rams the first time. You know, I feel like we just came in unprepared in the first game, and we were still learning our way around each other. But I feel like we'll be better. I hope we'll be better in the next week. Not that I certainly won't be nervous no matter what game it is, because I think any team can lose to anybody. I mean, look at the NFL is so crazy, but that's what makes it so entertaining, right? Because so unpredictable. You get the Seahawks get blown out by the Ravens last week, 37-3. In just the week before, we beat the Browns. I forget what the score is. We'll beat the Browns in a game that wasn't really that close. You put the Browns and the Ravens together, and you'd think, oh, well, the Ravens should destroy the Browns, right? Because they beat Seattle, and killed Seattle, and Seattle beat the Browns, so the Ravens should beat the Browns. But as we know, you can never apply algebraic equations to football. Just never adds up. And so what happens? The Browns beat the Ravens in overtime, and we can go, how'd that happen? How does that work? In Baltimore. I think the game was in Baltimore too. So crazy. But that's what makes it so fun, right? You just never know what's going to happen. You just never know week to week. Any given Sunday. But it's cliche, you know, but damn, I'm really screwed by this. Trapped in here because of this damn car accident. Stressing now. Let's see the VMAC coming up ahead. Need to get past the VMAC. So once I get past the VMAC, it should be smooth sailing. But doggone it, this S-curve screwed me up. I should have taken the alternate route, but I followed Siri's instructions. She said, this is the fastest route. The other routes are 7 minutes slower. I should have followed my gut. Of course, you didn't have the car accident factored in when this route was directed. Now it's too late. Man, sucks. Let's just learn how to drive up there. Jeez. And the problem with this is a live event. Supervising a live stream. A corporate live stream. I'm supposed to get there at 7:30. I was planning to get there 7 minutes from now. That ain't happening. To give myself a 30-minute buffer. Now that 30-minute buffer, according to Siri, has trimmed down to a 7-minute buffer. If this is even accurate. Anyway, So, oh, the other thing that pissed me off inside the stadium was a freaking Seahawks chant. And I called this out in my video too, because inevitably someone starts the stupid Seahawks chant while we're on offense, while they're trying to operate, and someone starts doing Seahawks, and I don't know, I think it's a Pavlovian dog response, because people can't help themselves. You know, some idiot has to start it, right? Some idiot starts it. But then it's worse because the other people follow it. And so I think people just can't help it. They just hear, Seahawks. It's like this automatic Pavlovian response. And it's so annoying. It happened at least 5-6 times during the game when our offense was trying to operate. And I'm like, what is wrong with you people? Don't you understand? You're supposed to shut up when our offense is on the field. And that just drives me crazy. And what's funny to me is what's even worse, and Pat did this, and other people have done it too. They start doing that, and of course we're all frustrated. We all want to yell at the idiots and tell them that they're idiots. So you get the, Seahawks in the huddle, they break huddle, and all of a sudden you hear, Seahawks! Your first instinct is to tell everyone to shut up. And then some people, Pat included, will say, shut up! Well, of course, what does that do? All that's now adding is more yelling on top of the, crap, we got an ambulance coming up here, a fire aid for the damn accident. Now they gotta all move over because this fire truck gotta get through. We got a Metro bus up here who needs to move over to let the fire vehicle get through, which I am. This is a freaking mess. This is just as annoying as Seahawks fans saying Seahawks during a game. And here comes the fire engine. I wonder how bad this wreck is. That bus has to get by. It's got to get by the bus. So everybody trying to merge over. We know, boss. The bus is kind of big, though. Come on, dudes, move your asses. Come on, you can squeeze in there. A fire truck, you can squeeze in there. You can get through. You can get through. You can get through. Whew, that's a tight squeeze right there. Okay, now everybody go back to your positions. All right, everybody resume positions. God. Now I'm not gonna get till 8. This sucks. Oh my gosh. All right, so that's that. Ooh, that truck almost hit that guy. Going back into his lane. It didn't help too that this morning when I got to my car, everything was frozen, so I had to run it and kind of let it defrost for a little bit. That didn't help. Anyway, so I'm screwed. Oh man. But going back to this whole Seahawks thing, just so if you're ever at a game, please don't do the Seahawks chant when we're on offense. You might think you're supporting the team, like you're giving them moral support, and you're just ruining their ability to communicate. All right, it's the whole opposite thing. It's when we yell, we cheer, we make noise when the defense is on. We're not cheering for the other team. We are trying to disrupt communications for the offense of the other team. So just don't do it, and don't yell, "Shut up," when other people start doing it, because you're just adding to the noise. So that's my pet peeve. Drives me crazy. So hopefully next week we'll get the win. Again, if you are in town and you want to hang out with me and a bunch of other crazed fans, we'll be on a watch party at Stimpy's Bar and Grill. And yeah, we will be doing some giveaways and prizes and auction items and stuff like that. So will be a blast. So I hope you guys can come out and hang out with us. But for now, I'm gonna enjoy the rest of this this week. There's nothing. The best part about football, and the worst part too, if you lose. The best part about it is you get to, as a victor, when you win, you get to just enjoy all the day after day spoils that come to the victors of winning, which is you get all the positive press, you bump up a little bit in the power rankings, which to me doesn't mean jack. I really don't listen to power rankings. They're fun to look at, but they're stupid, really. Power rankings is a dumbass measurement. It doesn't tell you anything because it is completely, there's nothing meaningful about it. It just tells you how you should feel about a certain team this week, but it's going to change. It will inevitably change, and it's going to be very different from what it's going to be in week 17. The only power ranking that matters is the one at the end of the season, and really that's the playoff ranking, because everything else is just temporary, useless information. And so it gives you something to talk about, I guess. But anyway, I'm sticking with Geno. Now the question would be, how long do I stick with Geno before? How bad would Geno have to play for me to start going, maybe we need to pull him? I would probably say if he had continued on that trend of turning the ball over twice a game and losing it because of it, if that had happened for like 2 more games and became the cause of losing the games, in games that we should have won. Baltimore, there was no win in that game no matter what. That was just a game that was not meant to be. But, so that's what I would say about that. But we'll know a lot about this team in about a month. We have to get past the Rams. It's kind of must-win situation, really, almost every week. But for us to let those 4 gauntlet games mean something, we have to, we definitely have to go through a couple of, we got to come out of, for us to feel like, okay, we belong, we need to beat the Rams next week. And we need to at least go 500 against those 4 teams. Preferably at least 1 win against the Niners. If we get a split, that would be very fortunate. But, sweeping the Niners, that's a lot to ask for. Can't really see that happening. But can't really afford to go 0-2, because if you go 0-2 against the Niners, you're pretty much, and then you're hoping you get a wild card in there. But then that's going to make things really tough. And of course, you got the Eagles and the Cowboys. So it's more important to get a win against the Niners. And then really, if you had to lose another one, you almost would rather just lose to the Eagles, because the Eagles are already in the top spot. The Cowboys much more in the competition that we may, if the Eagles get it, the Cowboys will be in the wild card situation. So we might be battling the Cowboys for a wild card spot. So you definitely want to beat the Cowboys. So if you got to get a couple losses in that 4-game stretch, it's going to have to be Niners and Eagles, and then take one for the Niners. That's the way to make it to where we've got a chance and feel like, okay, that wasn't too bad. Yeah, we didn't do great, but we didn't do horrible either. So I feel like coming out of that 4-game stretch, if we can do that over the next 5 games, basically that means we'd have to go, 3-2? We'd have to go 3-2 over the next 5 games. We're at 6-3 right now, so if we go 3-2, that would make us 9-5. Yes, 9-5 with 3 games to go. So, come on. So damn close. All right, I'm gonna have to do a thing here. Sorry, but call me out. But I'm using a stretch of carpool lane when I'm not supposed to. But everybody's merging anyway, so there's the evidence of the wreck, a bunch of glass and plastic parts on the road. Here, I'll show you what it looks like. Just till we get past this, and then I gotta bust it. Now the thing's saying, oh, there's a car messed up on the right, busted up fender, another vehicle. I think it was a 2-car thing. Oh, there's the 8-car. All right, now we're gunning. All right, I can still make it. Siri says I can make it by 7:55. But I'm gonna have to text my client and tell them I'm running behind. So I'm gonna have to hang up this call pretty quick here. In fact, I should hang up right now because I need to make that call right now. Anyway, there you go. That's kind of the state of things. So my last words really is, let's hang with and support Geno for the next stretch of games here. Let's give him a chance. Let's not be so quick to call for his head and boo him, because the Seahawks are not going to anyway. So you might as well give him your support since he is our quarterback. And if you're at the games, don't do the Seahawks chant during offensive plays. And don't boo the team. That's all I got. All right, we'll talk later. Join us for our Real Talk tomorrow night, Wednesday. We'll break down the last game and talk about the Rams game with Nick LeBeau, Aviation. And I'll see you Sunday. If not in person, I'll be live streaming from Stimpy's from our Fans for Good watch party. All right, have a great rest of your day. Thanks for watching, guys. I got to get to my job. Go Hawks.